Ignition sequence starts. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor, and I want to remind everybody that CryptoTaxAudit.com is the place if you need help with your crypto taxes. They do individual tax preparation, consultation. They actually have packages in case you're worried about getting audited. Go to the top of the description of this video, and I'll have the CryptoTaxAudit.com, the link so that you can go straight to it. This guy, Clinton Donnelly, is a crypto tax expert. So we're in tax season. Wanted to make you aware of that. Now, by the way, at the end of this video, I'm going to reveal to you the second person who is in that the Ethereum shadow government that Laura Shin mentioned in her book, and I'm going to read you an excerpt from what she said about the two that she named, the two key guys that she named. The other one was that, what's his name? Thomas Greco, I think. Anyway, I'm going to show you who the other guy is. At Crypto Bull, XRP is one of the most bullish looking crypto right now. 4 consecutive high lows since March 2020. Price is squeezing and breakout is right around the corner. Now, then we've got this from Monica Long. Excited is an understatement. We are ecstatic to see Michael Jordan-inspired NFTs coming to the XRP ledger through Ripple's Creator Fund. All right, and this is the tweet from Ripple. We're excited to announce that through our Creator Fund partnership with VSA Partners, Rare Air Media is going to design, develop, and market a collection of one-of-a-kind NFTs on the XRP ledger covering former NBA star Michael Jordan's life and career. Now that might be something I'd be interested in. I used to watch Michael Jordan at night when I was going to bed. If he was playing a basketball game in high school, I was watching him. Now, check this out. Speaking of NFTs, look at what this woman said about Ethereum NFTs. Pardon me, Ethereum. I'm trying to buy 0.111 ETH, $335 NFT, and you're charging 25% of the price in gas fees. Lowest cost to process, $81. The artist is a 13-year-old girl in Ukraine, and your network is prohibiting sales for her. How is this blockchain good for the world? I agree, Crystal Rose Pierce, and I'll point out why I agree. These are the gas fees that Gary Gensler, Allison Heron Lee, and Hester Pierce are protecting you from, while they give ETH a free pass and go after everyone else. These are the gas fees you would have. If you look at XRPs on the XRP ledger, the gas fees are way, way below pennies. So are XLMs. Even Algorand's are in the pennies. Okay? This is ridiculous what's going on. It is a farce. The entire crypto industry in the United States is built on a lie that has been perpetuated by the SEC and Bill Hinman and Gary Gensler. He's carrying the torch now. He owns it now. Digital Perspectives makes an excellent point here. If you think the U.S. government, or any other government for that matter, is going to sit idle and watch Bitcoin destroy fiat dollars, you're living on planet Xanadu. I agree. This is Max Kaiser and some other guy tearing up U.S. dollars.
That's the fiat currency. It's all garbage. It's all shit. Hey. You're gonna give it's worse than the plague. Yeah. You're gonna let children don't touch this. It's worse than drugs. It's another one.
Look, I agree. Look, I'm as mad as Max Kaiser is about how our government has destroyed dollars, but that is the wrong way to go about any of it. Okay, and it's a dead end. That all that's going to do right there is going to get the regulators worried. I can see Elizabeth Warren playing this video for someone and saying, see, we've got to nip this in the bud. Guys like him, that's not good for this industry. In fact, I remember last year when I was at the Bitcoin conference, I met Chris Giancarlo, and he literally turned and looked at a sign on the wall, one of these pictures of that was a defacement of the US dollar, and he said that needs to come down. True story, because he knows how the people will look at that. Now, I couldn't remember if I had covered this, but just last week, BitBoy was calling us all conspiracy theorists about this whole ETHgate thing. We were just a bunch of crazy conspiracy theorists. Well, he changes his tune fast, and he did. He put a video up, XRP will crush Bitcoin. I agree with him there, but he sure is blowing in the wind as far as his conviction. I said, we've always been the adults in the crypto room. XRP doesn't need a Lightning Network. The SEC lawsuit was a weapon because they knew the lesser technologies could not compete and at a minimum needed to buy time. It's one of those two, either buy time or they wanted to crush XRP so it couldn't compete. I'm not going to play this child for you folks. The guy's a smart guy. I'm the first to admit that. But there was a lot of smart guys in the .com boom, and this guy reminds me of those same guys. You remember the guys who were creating products that were internet-based, products and services that were internet-based, and just because they had .com on the end of them, they said, yeah, we can just lose money indefinitely, and then we'll go public at some crazy valuation, and then this is the new business model. At some point way into the future, we're going to make money. And we saw how that ended. Well, now this guy's telling you that Bitcoin is going to conquer the world and, whatever, down with governments, whatever he's saying. And they're putting him on 60 Minutes to do it. This guy's, it's almost like we're all being laughed at when you're putting a kid on. Look, and that's no, I'm not trying to put kids down or young guys that are smart like this guy. He is smart. But look, there are some things that you just, I'm sorry, but you just can't, if you haven't been around long enough. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I have been burned in my life. There are certain things that you just can't come along at too young of an age and understand because you hadn't been burned yet enough times. And being burned is everything. I tell my kids this all the time. It's a good thing to be burned, but you got to get burned. And some of it, you're not gonna. It's not. You're gonna be trying to be careful, but you're gonna get burned anyway because things go wrong. This guy, to have him on 60 Minutes as some representative of crypto, to me, is a joke. Digital asset investor. I tweeted this one out. The daily hodl. Like I said last week, we were just a bunch of conspiracy theorists. It was just last week. Lies do not stand the test of time, folks. And John Deaton is going to point out some things in a minute. Now, remember what really got the ball rolling in the last few days is the Hinman, the Empower emails that came out where it shows that the SEC warned Bill Hinman, the ethics office warned him this could be a criminal conflict of interest if you talk to your old law firm at all right now. So I said, hey, J.W. Verrett, can you weigh in on this? I respect your opinion, which I do. And remember, he's the guy that was on the SEC advisory committee, okay? And he I don't know if he quit or if he just stepped down recently. And he says, I don't have all the facts. And I agreed with many of the arguments in Hinman's speech on Ethereum. I also think this at least requires an SEC Inspector General investigation. That IG investigation could either clear Bill or provide more background about what happened. This law firm retirement ethics policies are also a hot mess. Now, he's 1,000% right. That's all we want. Let's investigate it. Hey, clear Bill Hinman. Investigate it. Let's clear him. That's all we want. And then I also wanted to make the point. Here's the Investor Advisory Committee. This was JW. They haven't taken him off yet. That's JW Verrett. But look at all these other people who we could also begin asking, don't they think there needs to be an ethics investigation? We obviously get no response from people like Hester Pierce on these kinds of things, or Gary Gensler or Allison Heron Lee. Well, if we don't get them from them, these people are supposed to be looking over the SEC too. Here's their names. Just go type in Investor Advisory Committees, SEC. Let's start asking some of them if they're calling for an investigation. Now, some of these guys, some of these internet sleuths, as Brad Garlinghouse calls them, some of these guys have gone to work. And this is the first, and I don't know all the details of this James Newsom guy, but I did remember this. When I first heard Laura Shin say shadow, this is a true story. When I first heard her say shadow government, the first person that popped in my mind as far as someone, because she said shadow government, and these are people that would go to the conferences and go to the things, and they didn't want anybody to point out that they were there. The first guy that I remembered that popped in my head about a guy that looked a bit ominous in one of these conferences or in Congress or whatever was this same guy that they're pointing out here. This guy's name's James Newsom. Now, I don't know if there's anything to the guy or not, but I'm going to take you through a little bit of what they said. Laura Shin confirmed there's a shadow government, knows there's something about, but a name to the group who must include James Newsom. This is the nervous guy from the 7/18/18 meeting. Now, he's got my tweet that I showed of this guy's saying the Ethereum shadow government hard forked to fix the DAO hack. And then he's got, this is that guy, James Newsom. This is a guy that's certified on Twitter. Says former CFTC chairman James Newsom says current regulatory decisions are good for Bitcoin and Ethereum, not so much for Ripple's XRP. And it looks like the date of that is the day before this tweet. And then look over here. He lays out. Now, remember, this is Amber Baldette. She was in charge of the JP Morgan blockchain, which was Quorum, okay? And then later bought by Consensus. And then she left and went to do her own thing, but she was in front of Congress. And he's sitting right behind her. James Newsom, former CFTC chairman, Delta Strategy Group, Bitcoin and Ethereum, ETH Zurich, Network Security Group, okay? This gets pretty interesting as we go along here, folks. So then TAIG comes and he says, and I don't know if they were involved in the free pass, but I'm going to show you what they found here. The biggest financial scam of all time. I do think Ethereum is that. But they go, he shows these guys. Now, this is, they're with the Delta Strategy Group, and it says, Delta Strategy Group, also deep experience representing blockchain and digital currency, Bitcoin and Ether companies. There's James Newsom, and these are some of the guys that he works with. All right, and then, let me see, then they go on. Here's TAIG again. He says, another massive coincidence. James Newsom just happens to be on the Digital Chamber Board of Directors. The incest is atrocious at this point. Now, remember, this is the same Digital Chamber of Commerce that we can't get to say anything about the Ethereum free pass. We can't get them to show any support for Ripple. They've been slow playing the idea that they're going to enter the Ripple lawsuit. We can't get them to say anything about helping John Deaton in his lawsuit. And this guy just happens to be on the board. And he proudly is saying these things are not going to help, like right here. Not so much. It's going to be good for Bitcoin and Ethereum. Not so much for Ripple's XRP. So he's on that. Then TAIG has another thread here that goes down. Great meeting. Here's another tweet where it's showing him and let's see, great things in Bermuda with the Chamber of Digital Commerce. And then he shows you all of the people that were in front of Congress. Gary Gensler, there's Lowell Ness, who did the Ethereum free pass. She was with JP Morgan. This guy was with Andreessen Horowitz, who was involved in the Ethereum free pass. There's Daniel Gorfine from the CFTC. And then as you go down, let's see, that is Rippleized tweet we covered a minute ago. Then as you go down to here, let's look at this one. This guy sat behind Gary Gensler, led the group. James Newsom sat behind him. And then he's got this guy circled. Let me see what else we've got here. Kevin Bata, he's also at Chamber of Digital Commerce, 2 down from Perry Ann Boring. Let's go back and see what else they have here. Then you got James Newsom. It shows this. Let's see what this part is. He's nominated by President George Bush, CFTC. Let's see what else we have. Then we've got, I think we've seen all of that. Then this is interesting because he's with the Delta Strategy Group. Gary Gensler met with the Delta Strategy Group twice, once in August and once in September last year. Weird, he met with the Governor, Bank of England before as well. XRP is all over their docs. James Newsom right here. All right, and then let's see if these got anything else. Was there ever a deep dive into Heath Tarber? Yeah, there were some deep dives back in the day. Anyway, I'm gonna stop there, but I don't know if this guy's if this guy's just some anti-XRP guy or whatever. Will follow the Delta Strategy Group and Amber Baldette, but I don't know the complete story here, but it is interesting that this guy's popping up. Okay, now John Deaton makes an excellent point. Look at what's been uncovered using only the internet, YouTube, public records, and FOIA litigation. With those limited sources, we've uncovered massive improprieties, if not criminal behavior. Now imagine what we uncover with subpoena power. This is what they're more scared of than anything. And I'm not an attorney, so I don't know how John Deaton gets it, but subpoena power. Imagine, you're talking about turning things around on someone. Imagine if the SEC and all these characters in this whole drama got to turn around on the SEC what they've been doing to all these people who have been trying to play by rules that the SEC won't even give them. Imagine if all of a sudden they were on the hot seat and they had to start turning over documents the way that they make companies like Library do. Imagine with all that we know what you would find out. And I hope one day John Deaton or someone gets that. Now, you remember this, I'm going to play a little bit of it. This was Laura Shin. Earlier this morning, we showed you this video. This is Laura Shin talking about how there was a shadow government at Ethereum. Listen up.
Government started, and there were a lot of people that were wielding influence in Ethereum, in the foundation, but were not necessarily people with official roles. And so a lot of people said to me, this is going on, and we don't like it for these reasons. And what's interesting is the people that were named as being kind of the big power players in this shadow government, it was fascinating. People would be scared to even mention their names to me. They would be scared to say that they had even just been at an event, not even that they'd been doing anything at the event, but just that they'd been there witnessing something, historic. So, people were, they seemed frightened of them, which was fascinating. And even, I mentioned this, so I am giving.
Okay. So, I think everybody that's heard that is like, what? What in the world are you talking about? They're frightened of them. Well, I gave you one of them this morning, and here's the other one she mentions in the book, because I bought the book this morning just so I could bring this to you. Another Ethereum shadow government name revealed by Laura Shin in her book, The Cryptopians. She said people would be scared to even mention their names to her. Meet Wendell Davis. The name that you're not allowed to mention, Wendell Davis. This is him right here. So everybody at Ethereum was scared of this guy for some reason. And the other one was his Thomas Greco. So, and then here he is again. I'm not positive, but I think this is him. It says, I think this is going this way. Dino Mark would be that guy. Yanislav Malov, that guy, because I know Charles Hoskinson is that guy. And then Anthony D'Onofrio, Steve Dock, and then that would have to be Wendell Davis right there. Okay? This guy, you weren't allowed to say his name if you were Ethereum. I wonder if Joseph Lubin said his name through his teeth ever. Okay, now I'm going to read you a section, and this is talking about both of them, that Thomas Greco and Wendell Davis. Here we go. This is from her book, page 346. Thomas and his other half, the thick-haired Wendell Davis, both were hardcore libertarians and, prior to Ethereum, die-hard Bitcoiners, as well as unofficial, powerful people in Ethereum. Acted like advisors, but no one knew if they had titles. People in the Ethereum Foundation had taken to calling Thomas, Wendell, and others like them the Foundation's shadow government. Someone else who worked with Thomas and Wendell thought their playbook was precisely not to have titles, so their actions, not to have titles, so their actions would have less clear impact and therefore be easier to get away with, since their names wouldn't be on them. Some people seemed afraid of them, knowing they preferred to work secretively. People were nervous about mentioning their names and that they were connected to any specific event and that they'd just been at a specific place and time observing something momentous. People were reluctant to even describe their personalities. One said the fact that Thomas has some kind of influence in the foundation is openly discussed. It's almost like a thing that needs to be worked around. Thomas and Wendell are the only people who genuinely make me uncomfortable within the crypto space. If anyone's going to make me worried, it's that duo. That's a quote. Sometimes people would ponder whether Thomas Greco was his real name. What in the world are they talking about? Why in the world is this thing not being investigated? Not just by the SEC Inspector General. Why is this not being investigated by the DOJ? What in the world is going on here? I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe, hit the like button, and ask your friends and family what in the freaking world is going on. Why do we have Ripple, a company that has been transparent from day one, in being sued by the SEC, and this shady as crap organization that has this Ethereum thing is just being ignored completely, not just by the SEC, by Congress, by the financial media, by the crypto media, by the crypto industry groups, Chamber of Digital Commerce, Blockchain Association. These people, this is sick.